Hello, everyone. Hello, Steven. Today we are speaking with Steven Aldrich, participant of Fund 1 of Project Catalyst, well, I would say actually the most active participant of both Fund 1 and Fund 2, and reviewer or advisor. There are like differences which we'll speak about because some people don't know the differences, and we'll speak about your role and your contributions. But firstly, I think let's speak. I would like to ask you about your background and how you joined the crypto space and the Cardano ecosystem particularly. It's interesting to know. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up in the crypto space. It was kind of an accident. One of my daughters was talking to me. She and her husband were involved, and I got to looking around and happened onto Charles's whiteboard, like most of us here. And I was like,
those
man,
famous whiteboard videos on Bitcoin. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, the whiteboard video that he did to introduce Cardano, and it just it caught my attention. So I started to watch and just consume everything that I could find to consume about the project. I eventually ended up figuring out how to buy a little bit of ADA, and add to that as I can. And was very, very interested in Cardano, just hanging out. I was this close to firing up a stake pool for the ITN, and just before the ITN lit up, I thought, you know what, I'm just not that guy. I have a little bit of coding experience, but I am no network DevOps guy. So I kind of backed away and said, well, maybe something will show up that I can do that makes sense. And then the virtual summit where Dora introduced Catalyst that's it. That's the thing right there. Let me jump in there and see what I can do. And I told them, because we all had to fill out a form to be part of that Fund 1. And I told them, look, I don't have a proposal. Maybe I'm not the guy, but I've got a lot of business experience, and I would be happy to come in and just see if I can help move the needle a little bit. So, and they accepted me. I was like blown away.
Yeah, you were very active in IdeaScale, Telegram, and now Discord. And right now we are in Fund 2, and let's maybe start with this because now is the phase of refinement. Yes.
Correct. Stage. Yeah, for another 2 days, I think. Wednesday starts the finalized phase, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what does it mean for the viewers, in case somebody doesn't know, that the Project Catalyst is the governance system of Cardano, where people, everyone registered, can submit proposals, and then the community votes. That's if very in brief, because in Moditas there are several stages, and now we are in the stage that it's not possible to submit proposals, but it's possible to read them, comment, and think about the proposal for Fund 3, because Fund 3 should be bigger than Fund 2. And this is something that if other people are watching us from maybe outside from Cardano ecosystem, though there are a lot of opportunities right now. And first you can start with educating yourself. And also there is a role of advisor and reviewer. Is it like the same or different roles? Let's maybe clarify this.
So Catalyst is really an experiment in governance, and moving through many iterations toward a more perfect system. So a lot of the words that are used are used interchangeably, and it's going to take time to actually nail down, this is what this is what that is. So right now during the refine phase, the proposals were submitted, and then there was a phase where we call it the refinement phase. And this is really the opportunity for everyone to go in, read the proposal, and ask questions, make comments, provide ways to maybe make it a little bit better or a little more attractive, or maybe just add detail. So that refinement phase, everybody's kind of reviewing all of the proposals. So you know, some people get confused by that word review phase. So when we do enter into the phase where we're actually doing reviews, that's a limited number of people who are called community advisors who actually review and score the finalized proposals. So we're still a few weeks away from actually doing that phase, because as this this phase right now, the refine phase, closes, then it goes into finalize. And I think there's a week for the proposers to take all of the comments and all of the refinements that they're wanting to make and get those into the proposal so that it's ready for a final review and scoring.
And you are community
advisors actually do that. Yeah, and the community advisor can't be someone who has a proposal in that specific fund. So now someone who's got a proposal in Fund 2, even if they get funded through Fund 2, could become a community advisor in Fund 3. And boy, it'd be nice to have them because they've got that experience and understand a little bit more about what it is that we need to do as a reviewer. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, people who don't have proposals looking to get funded during this round are eligible to be a community advisor to do that final review.
Yeah, so as a community advisor, how was the process of selecting community advisor? So did you apply or were you contacted?
No. We had to apply. And we just went through that for Fund 2, but in Fund 1, you know, there was a call that went out, hey, who wants to be a community advisor? Please sign up. And then there was a vetting process to figure out, you know, who might, and actually I think that all of us who applied ended up being community advisors. But yeah, there should be a vetting process to make sure that people are
yeah, but in Fund 1, it also was not possible. If you have the proposal, it was not possible to apply as community advisor. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's just a given. You know, it prevents any
conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah. That's it. And so you had the certain in Fund 1 certain amount of proposals which you reviewed. Yes. Because I have impression that you reviewed all the proposals in Fund 1.
Well, yeah, Fund 1 was interesting because, you know, we had, I'm not certain how many community advisors we actually had, but there were some who signed up and said, I'll be a community advisor. And then some, you know, I don't know, life happens. They weren't able to review the proposals that were sort of assigned to them to review. So there was a call to say, hey, you know, if you've got time, go ahead and move through these ones that haven't had a review yet. So again, it's an experiment. We're trying to figure out how to best move through these phases and give each proposal a real fighting chance at being a funded proposal. So, you know, it takes some time to build up those guidelines and those ways of being in the different roles that are required to move through. This is governance. It's not easy to figure out how to do it the best way.
Yeah, and basically these reviews, they influence maybe the opinion of voters, but we also need to say that they don't influence the process of voting. So these reviews, they are not votes. So actually, the holders, so you are who are ADA holders, you decide And if you are not ADA holder, you can still become some. You can go right now to exchange and buy some, or so that's basically open for everyone. And this is those people like minimum 8,000 ADA for vote. That's for now.
Yes.
It might be changed in future, but that is for now. Those are the people who really decide. But reviews, they help them to make a decision. Because right now we have this like more than 200 proposals, I think, in Fund 2. Yes?
Fund 2, 126 proposals.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
are active right now. Yeah.
Imagine just reading them. 120.
It's a lot, because it's not just reading the proposal. You need to go through and read all the comments and the responses to the comments. I mean, it's a lot of work. But it's great, you know, for somebody who's got any kind of a business mind. You know, you go through there and man, you see some really, really interesting projects.
Yes, yes, and these reviewers, they help to shape the opinion of voters.
The reviewing process is we're asked to score each proposal on 3 dimensions. It's on the impact, feasibility, and accountability. And those are the 3 things that we're scoring on. And impact actually carries a heavier weight than the other 2. Impact, I think, is scored on 50%, and then 25% on feasibility and 25% on accountability. And we're asked to score it 1 star, meaning, hey, we strongly disagree that this meets this criteria of being impactful, feasible, and accountable, or 5 stars, which means we strongly do agree that this meets all of the requirements. So then in the voting app, what shows up is you see how many stars. You know, is it 3.5 stars, 4 stars, 1 star, you know, however that's scored through the community advisor scoring process. It's just meant to help the people who haven't had a chance to read through the entire proposal and be involved during that entire process on idea scale, to give them a sense, hey, this really was a good project that the reviewers, you know, agree has good impact, good feasibility, and good accountability all laid out. So maybe you want to vote for that. Maybe you want to click through and actually go read about it before you vote. So that's actually possible as well. And I would advise it. You know, it's our treasury being spent here. Why would we just, you know, take the word of some community advisor? Why take my word? You know, you can just click right on through and go and see it. But it is a nice way to see those stars and say, hey, somebody actually spent some time and thought about this, and these were this was how they scored it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and interesting to ask, is it still possible for other people to apply for being advisor? Is it still possible?
Yes. Is it still possible? You know, I'm not actually certain, Andrew. It seems like it should be, because we haven't lit up the advisor role yet. So it seems like that should be still open, but we could definitely ask Dor, and maybe he would respond to that question in the town hall coming up Wednesday.
Yeah, and also like for those who are interested, like, well, first step is to register on Idea Scale, because that's Absolutely. Where the proposals are. And there was a pop-up window which is asking, are you registered? Are you interested in being community advisor if you have a proposal? So that was, if some people sign up and there's this thing still there, then probably it's possible. If no, Fund 3 is maybe
right around the corner.
Yeah, maybe around in a month. And and what do you think, like being in Fund 1, did it help you to be a community advisor in Fund 2? Did it help you a lot? How you would say?
I'm sorry, my email was binging away here, and I wanted to shut that down. What was the question again?
Yeah, the question is that being in Fund one, did it help you a lot for the Fund two? What do you
Oh,
think?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean the whole process of going through that very first round in Fund One was incredibly informative.
Mhm.
It gave us a chance to really dig in and get to understand what was coming up in Fund Two when real money was going to be on the table. So I'm excited because the people that came in, we've got what, 3,000 people now signed up on Idea
Yeah,
Scale.
that's a lot.
Man, Fund Three is going to be nuts.
Okay.
Fund Four is even going to be, it's, and I heard Charles saying on his AMA that he did Saturday night, I guess, he's really looking forward to seeing, 10,000 people in there, thousands of ideas per funding round. Wow.
Yeah, and in a way, Fund One proposers will have some advantage. Well, first, it's experience advantage, but it's also interesting to us because some proposals they moved from Fund One from Fund Two. For example, I moved my
Correct.
proposals. There are proposals of active, very active people like Maria, James. For example, Maria recently was on a Cardano effect show a few
Yep.
days ago. I was also there, and I think this really helps a lot because people know about these proposals. It's a bigger chance that they will take a look and then maybe vote. Interesting to
Yep.
ask you how this will influence your opinion on reviewing proposals which you, let's say, already recognize. Or you
How,
will be
which?
very hard trying to avoid like favoritism, or maybe let's say some how to say
Oh,
that. Yeah.
you're okay. You're talking about people who actually got on the gauntlet, or how, is that going to tip the scales in their direction, or whatever? Is it possible that there would be favoritism going on?
Yeah, yeah.
I
What do you think?
we're humans. What do you yeah, what are you going to do? We're not robots. Folks are gonna fall in love with a project and really rally around it. Um, you know,
Yeah.
that's why you have many community advisors, and you have a lot of checks and balances in there to provide some rounding, some balancing to the whole thing. But the truth of the matter is, we community advisors could all say, man, we just don't think this project has a shot. We could score it a 0. Well, you can't score it
Yeah.
a 0, but we could score it a 1, and it could still get funded by the voters. The voters might look at it and say, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And you community advisors are out of your minds. We're going
Yeah,
to
and
vote it
because
in and get it funded.
there is also a randomness. I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, that each proposal it got assigned to 3 community advisors. Yes, so basically 3 people.
Yeah, I'm not actually certain about those specifics. And actually, Fund One we were still. I think that it was very, very experimental. So what we saw in Fund One, I don't know that we'll see those same kind of issues in Fund Two. I know that there were 260 some odd people
Mm.
raised their hand and said, "Hey, I'd like to be a community advisor." Maybe more than that by now, but that's what Doris said last Wednesday. I'm expecting that number is higher. So if we get a good cadre, a good number of community advisors, then we could have, the potential to have 3 or 4 different community advisors take a look at each and every one of those projects. And that would help to round out the numbers for
Yeah,
sure.
I also think that the more people will look at, the better it will be for the
You
process.
bet. You bet. But again, community advisors, when we went through the voting app, the beta test, if you will, the voting app one, there were proposals in there that had, very low community advisor scores. So, I mean, all of them end up in there. It's, they don't have a high number of stars. So whatever voters are still the ones with the power.
Yeah, because we were all
be sure and vote.
We were all friends in Fund One, but at the end of the day, people were objective in reviewing. So some people received low stars, and but that's it. That's
Well, I mean, think about it, Andre. There's this whole thing of, hey, I can put my proposal out there, and a lot of people have an idea. They so they throw it out there, and then some of them end up just kind of languishing. The person doesn't come back in and answer comments or whatever. Not everybody has the tenacity to stick with it and actually work through the process and build a business. That's what you're doing. It's a business.
Yeah.
And you're asking for somebody, the ADA holders, to give you money to build your business. And oh, by the way, you're not going to pay them back. So, you know what I mean? You've got to be ready to come in and build your business and actually make an impact and answer the challenge.
Yeah,
how are we going to attract developers and entrepreneurs to build on Cardano in the next 6 months? How are we going to do? That's the challenge. So if you got an idea, man, get in Fund 3. Let's go.
Yes, and that's also why I think it would be good for proposers to do, in a way, some marketing for their proposals, or not like a marketing that invest a lot into some advertisement, but just like speaking about your proposal, replying to all comments, participating in show like Gauntlet. It's actually open to everyone. Maria told me about this opportunity. I just clicked yes in that Telegram group, and I was invited. I didn't know Rick before, and it was like really great experience being there. And many people will watch it and already watched. And I'm also with my limited audience on crypto blogs and this YouTube channel. I'm also proposing, if somebody is interested to speak about their proposal, I'm open to it. And I already discussed few proposals with Maria Carmo, with James. And of course, in this way, in Fund 1, I read all the proposals. So I know them. In Fund 2, I can't say so because there are too many things are going on in Cardano ecosystem. It's hard to take to know everything. So that's why, in a way, I know more Fund 1 participants, and first of all, I will contact them to speak about their proposals. But if somebody is watching this and want to speak with me, I'm open to these conversations. And I also wanted to ask you about this kudos, because how do you think they influence the proposal? What's your opinion?
I got to be honest with you. My view of the kudos is it's a vanity metric. You can get trapped, and I do it myself. I sign on to IdeaScale, and not the first thing I do, but I do casually look down over here in the corner where it says, how many kudos did I get? Did I get more since I was here last? So there's a bit of a thing going on in your head, hey, I got kudos, way cool. But the truth of the matter is the kudos, they don't really have a whole lot of weight. We've got folks in there, a DC, my goodness, that guy's got, I've lost count how many kudos that guy's gotten. But he's engaged and he's in there and he's talking. Now, frankly, in Fund 2, with respect to IdeaScale, I had to cut my time back considerably because, you know, we started the Discord channel and I had to kind of focus on that. And that's been very, very exciting. So,
Yeah, and what's your like time separation of time, like Telegram, Discord, and idea scale? So is it like 50, 25, 25 approximately?
that's probably a really good estimate. Yeah, it's something like that.
So 50% Discord, 25 idea scale,
yes.
25 Telegram. Yeah.
Yes.
So now everybody should know that the best way to contact you is via Discord.
On Discord. Yeah, you definitely get me there. But you know, so it's kind of hard because, you know, in an idea scale, things are not moving as fast. You know, it's more of a systematic walk forward. But in, you know, Telegram and Discord, there's stuff popping in there all the time. And a lot of it's really, really important that, you know, somebody gets an answer pretty quickly. Help them along their way. So, yeah. Now, honestly, this evening and tomorrow evening, I'll be hammering away in idea scale because there's quite a few proposals that I just haven't gotten to yet. I think I'm not quite halfway through all of them. And of course, then I'm going to have to go back through the first ones because some of them I got to really early and there've been edits and comments and things that I should get through and have my head wrapped around. So, yeah. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in idea scale over the next 2 days.
Yeah, and each Wednesday you take part in town hall. Yes.
So no. I did that one time just to introduce the.
I mean, you listen and also communicate actively.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, one time you were in a video as one of the speakers.
Yeah.
Because that's also, I think we need to say that it's important day of the week when all the updates are coming, when it's possible to ask Dor, the project manager of Catalyst, like any question related to it, and I think he answers all the important questions.
He's very, very good. I from the first video I saw, you know, of him on the summit with that smile of his, I was like, man, you gotta love this guy. You just gotta love this guy. So anyway, yeah.
I think what's your advice for everyone who is considering to take part in the future funds? What's your advice?
Man, jump in. I would say what's really, really a good idea is to get into idea scale now. Start looking at the proposals that are there and reading the comments. You can get a real good feel for what's really expected. It would give you a good leg up for when you come in on Fund 3 or Fund 4. You know, and these are on 6 to 8 week cadence. So, you know, I'm actually expecting Fund 3, and this is just me. I'm expecting Fund 3 to fire off before we actually do the vote for Fund 2. I'm expecting that, you know, in the next 2 weeks, they'll kick off Fund 3. Let's get going. So there's no reason that they have to go end to end to end. They can overlap. And I think that we're going to find that we're actually on about a 4-week cadence for firing them, you know, starting up the next one. And then they'll just run concurrently over interleaving. Is that the word for it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Steve.
But yeah, get in there and get a feel for what's going on and what you need to have in order to be considered a really good proposal. And then it might be really interesting to see, you know, make a list and say, man, I think this one will win. I think this one will win. And then check it out when the voting happens. Did you hit it or not? You know, and if you did, then you've got a good idea what needs to be done when you put yours in.
Yeah, it was really great to speak with you. I think if you will find time, it would be nice to speak again after the end of fund 2, after the voting is done, after we see, because as for me, it's one of the most interesting part to see like how the voting will be, how many people will vote and how they will vote. And that would be really interesting to analyze and maybe to think, to make some brainstorm how we can improve this process even more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you, Andrei, for asking me to come on here. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, thank you too. Goodbye.
All right.